Welcome to another episode of Nac Edition. I'm your host, Alec Reyes. We'll be taking a look at some important news from around Nacogdoches and the SFA campus, learn about SFA's new aviation program, and punch out some simple everyday exercises that can help you hone your martial arts skills. Nac Edition starts right now. SFA's The Big Event was held over the past weekend to promote unity between the campus and the community. The Big Event expresses gratitude by SFA students through service to the city of Nacogdoches. Students come together for one day to perform various service projects all across Nacogdoches County. The students work in teams to complete projects as a way to say thank you to the community for the support of SFA students. Throughout the years, Nacogdoches community has shown endless support to the students of Stephen F. Austin. The Big Event ventures to reciprocate appreciation to all residents. The Big Event is focused solely on saying thanks. Therefore, projects for this event are not based on need or socioeconomic status. Anyone could apply for a project to be completed by SFA students. This year's The Big Event was a total success. SFA students from various organizations served their community with dignity and SFA pride. The next Big Event will be held in the spring semester of 2022. Considering the estimated $12 million loss in revenue SFA had last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, things will continue to take time as the university budget continues to recover. According to Vice President of Finance Administration, Dr. Danny Gallant, SFA is considering the utilization of the CARES Act funding and reduced expenses to recover revenue shortfalls. With SFA spring enrollment 3.5% lower than last year's, SFA President Dr. Scott Gordon has cited the ambitious goal of reaching a 5% increase in enrollment by the fall semester later this year. President Gordon's focus is not only on enrollment, but also getting heads in beds to raise dorm occupancy levels, which will help rejuvenate university revenue. Dr. Gallant insists that it will take an integrated plan to successfully increase enrollment by the desired 5% for the upcoming fall semester. It's been a confusing couple of semesters for SFA students, with combinations of in-person and remote learning, on-campus social distancing, and an overall new learning experience. SFA has released updated COVID-19 campus protocols for the upcoming summer and fall semesters. The university has provided an outline on what the future of classes at SFA will look like. The plan is to bring campus operations back to normal in 2 phases. In status 1.5, which will take effect during the summer 2021 semester, physical distance requirements will be reduced to 3 feet apart instead of 6. Vaccines will not be mandatory for students or employees at this time. After the fall semester, SFA will move into status 1, which allows for full classroom capacity and normal operations. The health clinic will also continue to provide testing and contact tracing. Mask and face covering requirements will remain in place in indoor spaces and public transportation during both phases. The university has made it clear that these plans are flexible and are subject to change. To view the latest information on campus protocols, visit sfasu.edu/COVID-19. With the recent lifting of the governor's safety protocols, Nacogdoches is allowing the return of public events and pavilion rentals. Let's check in and get caught up on the latest details.
Summer is rapidly approaching, with COVID vaccines being administered frequently and in larger amounts. The prospect of being able to hold gatherings outside with families and friends seems like more of a possibility. Nacogdoches Parks and Recreation Center have already started to make this hypothetical turn into a reality. On April 1st, they announced on their Facebook page that park pavilions in Liberty Hall are open for rentals. As COVID-19 was spreading and it became unsafe for people to gather in large groups, the Nacogdoches Parks and Recreation had to start reducing the availability of the park pavilions for renting to ensure the safety of the community and slow the spread of the virus. On July 6, 2020, park pavilions were no longer offering rentals. The parks were still open to anyone who wanted to enjoy the outdoors, but residents were warned to limit their groups to 10 or less, wearing a face mask and social distancing where you must. During the middle of the pandemic in August 2020, park pavilions in Liberty Hall were on a first-come, first-served basis, and social distancing, wearing masks, and sanitizing were required. It has been 10 months since Nacogdoches residents have been able to fully enjoy the park pavilions and hold events with their families, friends, and peers. It is now time to turn over a new leaf. Park pavilions are now open for rentals, and the following is a list of park pavilions that are available. Bonita Creek North, Lakeside Park, Festival Park, Liberty Hall, Pecan Acres Park, Maroney Park, Pioneer Park, and many more. For more information on how you can book your event for the next time you want to spend some safe quality time with your family or plan to get together with your organization, visit the Nacogdoches Parks and Recreation Facebook page. For Nac Edition, I'm Jose.
With summer only a few months away, that means that SFA's time in the Southland Conference is winding down. It was announced earlier this year that Stephen F. Austin State University will be leaving the Southland Conference for the Western Athletic Conference. The move was announced on January 14th alongside the likes of Lamar University, Sam Houston State, and Abilene Christian. The move was made in the hopes for SFA to become the leading mid-major athletic department in the nation, according to Director of Athletics Ryan Ivey. He also went on to state that he was excited to make the move with alongside like-minded universities who are focused on growth. Another reason for the move was to compete in one of the fastest growing populations in the country, according to SFA President Scott Gordon. SFA will make the official move on June 30th, 2022, and will compete alongside the likes of Utah Valley University, New Mexico State University, and California Baptist University. Emma Hill, a creative writing undergrad student at SFA, has written and published her first book, Smelly Davis Needs a Bath. Hill is a children's book author who writes about what she believes. She had her launch party at the local Nacogdoches bookstore Boss Light on March 20th after writing the book in only 4 months. Since then, Hill has done a few book readings around SFA and Nacogdoches. She mentions that she writes to challenge people to dare to ask, dare to answer, and dare to believe that there is a miraculous truth to our universe, as stated on her website. Her next book signing will be done at the Nacogdoches Blueberry Festival this summer, and she plans to release her second book this summer as well. For more information on Hill's passion or to purchase her new book, you can visit emmahillbooks.com. Two SFA education students have received high praise for an honors contract turned published paper advocating for Asian awareness. Here's Elena Barnes with the story.
I'm Elena Barnes, and I had the opportunity to sit with two seniors, Amy Kitzman and Sarah Shingler, who wrote what was originally an honors contract, but soon to be published paper about Asian American representation in TEKS. In times right now, Asian Americans are facing discrimination and racial inequality in America. SFA education majors Amy Kitzman and Sarah Shingler decided to take action and research Asian representation in Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, also known as TEKS.
Not seeing Asian representation in that, we kind of I always saw that void growing up, and it wasn't until Dr. Straub's class that it really came to light. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a teacher. I want this in the classroom, and so that's kind of where we started. Is we just saw that so much representation throughout a lot of minorities and silenced groups were not presented in the TEKS.
After reading and analyzing the honors contract, Dr. Sarah Straub said the lesson plan and the overall paper Kitzman and Shingler created was, quote, incredible and needs to be published.
They identified one particular one in 4th grade that they wanted to play with, and they were able to do a lesson about Crystal City, the internment camp here in Texas, one of the internment camps. And what they did is they did it through a lens of empowerment. So they found poetry, they found activism, and they identified all of these incredible stories of resilience and stories of strength.
Shingler expresses when becoming a teacher, it's important to understand and learn about cultural representation in the education system.
As a future educator, I want every single one of my students to see themselves in what I'm teaching. And I felt like this would also be a good avenue for me to learn more, because I was not completely educated. And as somebody who is white and not Asian American, or not part of a minority group like that, that's really my main job, is to learn more and to listen.
Kitzman's and Shingler's paper is in the process of peer review and will be published in the near future at the University of Houston. Reporting for Nac Edition, I'm Elena Barnes. Back to you, Alec.
Thanks, Elena, for the inspiring story. Stay right with us. After the break, we'll be learning about SFA's Aviation Sciences Department and what this new program has to offer SFA students. We're back here on Nac Edition. In the studio with me today is Chief Flight Instructor for SFA's Aviation Program, John Hughes. We're excited to have you on the show.
Thanks, great to be here.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it.
All right.
How did you get into flying?
High school, discovery flight, 2 weeks before I turned 16. Went out and took it, been hooked ever since.
Awesome. And did you have any experience like flying for any commercial airlines by any chance?
Yes, I have flown for United Express, flown for multiple companies as a corporate pilot, flown air taxi back in the day, so been a flight instructor since the late 80s.
Awesome. And could you tell us more about SFA's new Aviation Sciences program?
Absolutely. So it's going to be a 4-year Bachelor of Science degree. The students will graduate with a degree in aviation science. In addition to that, they'll complete their commercial pilot certificate with multi-engine and single-engine rating, and they'll be licensed flight instructors whenever they get done.
Awesome. And last week, John, you took a crew member and our executive producer for a flight. Let's take a look.
Awesome.
So what can students expect from this new program?
Well, they're going to fly the first semester. They're here to fly. They're excited about becoming pilots, and so we're going to get them started right away in ground school and in the air as well. We have 3 brand new airplanes coming, 3 brand new simulators coming as well. So it's going to be an exciting time, and lots of learning is going to take place.
Awesome. And off the top of your head, do you know how many universities in the state of Texas do you know of that have an aviation program?
I don't off the top of my head know an exact count. We are one of the few in Texas, though, that's a public college, not a private college that does it. So there's no public college, I would say, within 100 miles of us that does it.
So basically, like, you could also pretty much say that we're the only one in East Texas, so to say?
Yes, yes. Laterno's private, of course, up in Longview. That would be the closest one, but it is a private university.
Good deal. And what will make this program different from a normal flight school?
Well, it's obviously we're starting from scratch, and so many of the things that are inherent with flight training that have become issues in the past, you know, we're trying to plan ahead so we don't have those issues. Thus, we're buying brand new airplanes. We're getting them started right away. We're integrating simulators into the program from day one to enhance the learning experience and expedite the training in the aircraft.
And how long has this program been in the works for?
Roughly 24 months. COVID put us back a little bit, as it did everything, but we've been working on it for going on 24 months, and obviously the last 9 months it's really ramped up the efforts, and it's been a group effort. University's been awesome, the community's been awesome, the FAA's been awesome, and many other people have really come to or answered the call to get it going.
And what are the requirements, if any, to be selected into the program?
So obviously the first thing they have to do is be applied to and be accepted to SFA. We require at least a second-class medical, which enables them to exercise the privileges of a commercial pilot's license. And then there's some proof of citizenship. Pretty much the application process is very straightforward, and it's very competitive. We're looking for about 30 students the first year. So it's very competitive, and the reception's been good. Awesome.
And you know, starting from scratch and everything, where do you hope to see the program going in the next, say, 5 to 10 years?
Oh, we have big plans, Alec. The next 3 to 4 years, you know, we want to grow, hopefully to, you know, maybe 120 students or so in the flight program itself. In the coming months, we plan to add maintenance training, aviation maintenance training, including avionics, which is the radios and the autopilots and things in airplanes. We want to do aviation management. We have big plans for SFA, and it's not going to just be a flight program, it's going to be an aviation program.
You know, and talk about all the resources and such that you have pointed out, where will the majority of classes be held at? Will they be held here on campus or at the Nac Edition airport?
So the classes, which, you know, we would say call them ground school, the formal classes will take place here at Stephen F. Austin. The lab, which is obviously in the airplane, will obviously take place at the airport and all over Texas, to be honest. You know, lots of flying to different locations, but everything will be based out of the Nac Edition airport, and the simulators will be based here on campus as well.
Awesome. And how many employees or staff members will y'all have during the initial year?
The first year, probably 6 to 7. That includes flight instructors
Okay.
and administrative as well.
And besides receiving an undergrad here for in the new program and everything, what else will students receive upon graduation? And will there also be, say, a graduate program?
I can't answer that on the graduate program. I don't know what SFA has in mind for that yet. It's probably a little premature. But I know that they have big plans, and we plan to offer job placement, help with job placement, whether it be with flight instructing, charter, eventually with airlines and different things as well. It's a great career to get into.
Absolutely. And what's your outlook on the aviation industry looking like right now?
It's good, very good. You look at COVID, there's lots of airline pilots sitting around. Pre-COVID, Boeing did a study a few years ago, said the need for pilots was about 800,000 over the next 20 years. That's only going to go up with COVID and the aftermath because of early retirements and different things that were offered to pilots to help lessen the burden on the airlines during COVID. So it's golden.
So let's say, let's put this scenario in place here. Say COVID never hit or anything like that. Where would the aviation science program be at right now had it not been for the pandemic?
Well, a year ahead. We had planned to kick off last fall, so we would be a year further down the road. So that's where we'd be.
Okay. And also to, besides becoming certified pilots and such, will there also be opportunities to, say, also work for airports or flight attendants? And
oh, absolutely. We hope to, train flight attendants down the road, maybe get into some air traffic control, aircraft refurbishment, a number of different areas. Airport management is a big thing going forward as well.
And also to, besides the Nacogdoches Regional Airport, I also believe that there's one in Angelina County, the Angelina County Airport. It's will students be able to also have access to other airports in the area as well?
Yes. Now we won't, at least initially, not have satellite airports, but they will be going to a number of airports around that are already specified in the training course outline on cross-country flights and different things. However, once they get their license, they're free to fly whatever airport they want to.
So what do you have to, for students who are watching this right now, what do you, if they're interested in the program, how can they get in touch with you and get in contact with the program?
So I wish I could tell you the website off the top of my head, but they can go to the SFA website and look up the aviation science program, and there is a link on there they can click on, and it will send me an email directly. I believe it's aviation@sfasu.edu is the email address, but it comes directly to me, and that's the way to get started, and I will answer it promptly.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.
You bet. Thank you for having me, Alec.
Absolutely. Stick around. After the break, we're going to discuss how you can improve your body through a unique approach to martial arts. Stay with us. Welcome back to Nac Edition. I have a very special guest here with me today. His name is Buddy Lieberman, and he is a Nacogdoches raised karate black belt and certified instructor. It's great to have you on the show, Buddy.
Thanks for having me, Alec.
Let's get right into it. So what makes your approach to martial arts different from others?
Well, I like to streamline it so that it goes from the simple to the complex. We start not with martial arts, but with the human body. And so we're going to strengthen that, generally speaking, up performance. And then we're going to learn how to fit martial arts as a set of more complex concepts into that generally strengthened body.
How can the average person, average everyday person, fit this into their fitness goals and personal lives?
Well, just about anyone does general fitness. That's easy. And so what I do is I teach from that standpoint of fitness. If someone does push-ups, if they do squats, if they do pull-ups, if they just run, that is all going to fit into the complexities of martial arts, or rather, the complexities of martial arts are going to fit into that. And it's just a very gradual building from, this is what your body can do, so let's teach it.
Would you like to show us some demonstrations here today?
Sure. We'll start with the martial arts.
Okay.
I know I'm going out of order, but start with the more complex things. So let me grab a mitt here.
All right.
And go ahead and put your left foot forward, facing me.
All right.
And then your right foot is going to go out a little bit, so you widen your base. Now I want you to think about your legs being strong.
Okay.
You're going to throw a cross with your right hand right into the mitt.
Just like that?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, just a few times. Good. Think about pushing off with that back leg, that right leg. Yep. And relax. Okay. So what I had you do there is ground with your back foot. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you can push off with. So you push off there, you throw the punch with your right hand. Okay.
Yeah.
That's engaging everything down from your toes, up to your shoulder, up to your arm here. So then what's the general workout that fits into? It would be push-ups. Okay. So we have the pushing motion up top.
Yeah.
Okay. That engages chest, shoulders, triceps. We have the glutes because we lock out our body, engage the core, and then we engage the quads, calves, and our feet. And so that's how a general workout, push-ups, then facilitates martial arts. And so we train the body with the push-ups, and then the martial arts fits right in, just like that.
Awesome. You have any other demonstrations to show me as well?
Would you like to throw a jab, shoulder
sure.
punch? Okay, so go ahead and switch your stance.
All right.
So right foot's forward.
Here we
Yep.
go.
Left foot steps out just a little bit.
Here we go.
And you're gonna throw the punch with your right hand. Okay, so push off still with that back leg because that's where your power comes from. Right there. Push off hard. Good. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Almost got you right there.
You're good. Very powerful. And relax. Good.
All right.
And so that's your jab. Even with a lighter, faster punch, like the jab, it's just like a pop. We're still pushing off with that back leg, and that's where the push-ups again come in because we're engaging legs, calves, locking out core, and then the push for the upper body. So that's another one is just work your push-ups. If you want to get into martial arts, there are a few things that are better than push-ups. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said how long ago did you get into martial arts?
I got into martial arts about 12 and a half years ago. I was 6 years old. My dad put me into Taekwondo for self-defense, and I've kind of just built off that, worked different styles, Okinawan karate. I worked the MK system of martial arts, done a little bit of MMA, Krav Maga. It's been a really great journey.
Did you ever play any sports?
Nothing other than martial arts. Nope, martial arts it's been where I'm at.
All martial arts.
Yep.
Sweet. So is there any famous martial artist that you look up to that you take inspiration from?
Donnie Yen. He's a famous actor in Hong Kong who does Wing Chun, which is it's a very nice form of Kung Fu, Wing Chun is. And Donnie Yen does a really beautiful way of demonstrating that in the movies he makes. And I've always really enjoyed watching his movies.
Buddy, is there a way that people could reach out to you, like through social media?
Yeah, so actually I have a website. It's buddylieberman-martialarts.com. And on it, you'll be able to sign up to my newsletter, any of the people watching here. You'll also get a free PDF on push-ups. And I have details on the push-ups that a lot of people miss. And so I would just encourage everyone who's watching to go get that PDF and sign up my newsletter because I do lots of great content there where I teach about the intricacies of martial arts and fitness in general.
Awesome. Well, thank you, buddy, for taking time to come onto the show and teach me and the viewers a little bit about martial arts. Before we go, let's turn our eyes to the sky and take a look at one of the lesser-known national days. Today is National Look Up at the Sky Day. When was the last time you looked up at the sky? Many people believe this vague holiday started in honor of Jack Borden. After looking at the sky for what he considered to be the first time, he quit his day job. Inspired by what he saw, he founded For Spacious Skies, a nonprofit that teaches children and adults to live in the moment rather than passing through life while ignoring nature's beauty. The sky puts the world into perspective and shows us just how small we are. We often feel stressed and rushed through life. Taking a breath and looking up at the sky has a way of calming our minds. All you have to do is look up. Borden believed that the more you look up at the sky, the more you will appreciate it. According to a Harvard study, students who are more aware of the sky excel in reading, writing, music, and visual arts. So be sure to go look up at the sky today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Nac Edition. I'm your host, Alec Reyes, and we'll see you next time.